Welcome back. Now, this is a segment I've been looking forward to. Bode Agbe-Davies is the creator of the Body Create method and is a certified fitness trainer and nutritional enthusiast. Now, she's talking to us today about understanding macronutrients. So, nutrients, I understand. The macro part is, it's a bit, fizzled. So, do you want to break it down? What exactly are macronutrients and why do we need them?
All right, so macronutrients essentially it makes you think that this is the big part of our nutrition, the building blocks, right? So that's why it's macro. This is where we get most of our nutrients from. And when we talk about macronutrients, essentially we're thinking about three things, and those are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Those are the three macronutrients.
Okay, protein, right? Carbohydrates, and fat. Okay, fantastic.
Yes. All right. So our proteins, we already know this is the one that everybody loves because we are eating high protein diets, right? And our proteins, we need to understand that they are really essential for all of the cells in our body, right? So not just muscles, but bones, hair, skin, hormones, antibodies. So proteins are like the building block of the body, and their job is really for maintenance, good health, and prevention of disease. So we need those, and we need them from good sources, from like nuts, from fish, and all of those good things. So we always hear that, eat your beans so you can grow, right? So we know that proteins are essential for that. When we look at carbohydrates, those have gotten a bad rep recently, especially because of dieting. So we hear people say, I would be slim, but I eat too many carbohydrates. But that's not necessarily true. You might be eating too much carbohydrates, but they're needed because those are your body's main source of energy. Your body's preferred source of energy is from glucose, which we get from carbohydrates. But the thing to note is you want to get your carbohydrates from good sources, so from whole grains, from fruits and from vegetables, your potatoes, your carrots, your beets, your beans again, and stuff like that, rather than from fast foods and pastries and baked goods all the time. And then the last one will be your fats, which also get a bad rep, but we also need fats because those are really essential for absorption of minerals and vitamins in the body. Those help to stabilize your blood sugar levels and all of those good things. Again, what we need to be mindful of is getting these from good sources. So rather than getting fats from highly processed foods, where the oils used in those cases are full of trans fats and all of those, you want to get them from healthy sources like olive oils. Again, you want to get them from your nuts, you want to get them from fish. You want to reduce your sources from things like butter and cheese, and get them mostly from, all these good oils, your coconut oil and your palm oil and things like that. So macro, because that's where most of our nutrients come from, and just always remembering to get them from good, healthy, natural sources.
Okay, so you've broken down what exactly they are, and those are basically the nutrients that we're, almost always in contact with on a daily basis. But why is it that even though a lot of our meals do contain a lot of these macronutrients, why is it that a lot of us still end up having poor diets?
Okay, so one big reason for that is the way we prepare. So there are two things. One is the way we portion these things. Maybe three. The way we portion them, the sources, and how we prepare these foods. So, for instance, you say lots of us get these things in our diet, but when you look at the way we make our meals, we do a lot of deep frying, right? And we do a lot of deep frying with actually the wrong kinds of oils. The oils that most of us use are oils that have trans fats in them. So when you look at deep frying on a big level and the general type of oils we have in our houses and we use those types of vegetable oils, they have trans fats in them. And trans fats actually have been linked to a lot of health diseases. So when we're looking at preparation, one of the things I always tell people to first of all get rid of is deep frying. You have to get rid of all of that deep frying.
So you're saying
I should get rid of unhealthy sources of oil.
So you're saying I should throw away my deep fryer? You're saying I should throw away my deep fryer?
Oh yeah, I threw away my deep fryer a long time ago. So please, Titi, I will come to your house. Go throw away that deep fryer. Get an air fryer.
Okay, so air fryer is better then.
You don't even need to be dipping anything. Just use little oil, healthy sources of oils. But yes, get rid of that deep fryer. You have to. You honestly have to. So like I said, preparation, then the sources. Where exactly are we getting the oils from? Are you getting your carbs from something like beans? Are you getting it from your fruits? Are you mostly getting it from donuts and pizza and stuff like that, right?
So
pastry, this is why we have poor diet.
You've pinpointed pastry as one of those, you've mentioned pastry like twice now. What is it about pastry that makes it one of the poorer sources of these macronutrients?
So it's the white flour content. And really, like, I have some white flour in my diet, but it's not every day. But then lots of people have it every day. It's the white flour, it's the combination of the salt and the fat that is used to bake these goods that keeps us hooked on them. So if you're buying mostly pastry, the person who made that isn't really thinking about your health, and so they're not using the healthiest source of fat or butter or margarine there. They're using something that probably has trans fat in it because it's cheaper to get their hands on. So that isn't very healthy for you. If you're baking from home and you're more aware of these things, you might choose higher quality sources of your fats and all of those things. But if it's mostly bought, which is what tends to happen with most of us, it has trans fat in it, all of that high white flour content, and that's the problem with pastry.
Okay, all right.
And then, of course, if it's some stuff like small chops, again, deep frying then comes into the equation as well. So it's just
deep fried pastries. That's what small chops are, deep fried pastries.
Exactly.
So now we're covering macronutrients. I want to talk a little bit about the proteins. So a lot of people are big fans of beef, and those fatty meats, the red meats especially. In fact, there's some places you go that if someone orders food and then there's no beef in it, it's a problem. Can you tell us about it's protein, right? It's protein. So why is it so bad?
So there's a lot of debate on meat, and there's lots of research going on. So there's lots of things we can talk about. But one of the things I would say is first is the type. So there's been a lot of research going into how these meats are raised, how these animals are raised, and the things that are used to raise them. And there's lots of controversy about that. There's also, like I said, the amount that we eat. So traditionally around here, we like meat. We like to see meat in our soup. And there's research that shows an increase in all these health diseases with the amount of animal protein that people eat, right? So those are some of the things. It's the source, it's the quantity. Again, preparation. We like to fry it. We like to cook it in soups that have a lot of oils and unhealthy oils in them. So with meat, really, those are some of the issues that go on there. It's too much meat. It's from not the most organic. So we hear people talking about having more organic sources of meat, but here it's hard to know what sources of your meat are organic and what are not. So I know that there are a few people now coming up with more organic sources, but it's not mainstream yet. So that tends to also be a problem. So those are some of the issues with meat in general. Okay.
All right. Now, I have to say thank you so much for breaking it down for us and talking to us. You were here last week and you're still here for a few more weeks, I believe. There's still so much for us to talk about. But macronutrients, that's a term that I'm more familiar with because of you. Thank you so much, Bode.
Thank you for having me. I'll be back next week. Thank you.
All right, then. Now, you should tell us what you think about that particular topic. Which of those nutrients do you know that you're eating the bad stuff of? Are you eating a lot of pastries? Tell us what you think you can use to replace them. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.